don't even know why I've put my bed up, because I have not been able to sit up properly for the past day and a half. As you can see, my eye is swollen. This started yesterday after I had the ICP bolt out. The reason I hadn't been vlogging was because I had been better. I went 4 months after a blood patch, feeling quite good. Went back to work, but unfortunately only 2 weeks in, I'm back to what feels like square one again. The plan was always to come to the National Hospital of Neurology and Neurosurgery if I were to leak again, so they could do further investigations, including having the ICP bolt, which is intracranial pressure monitoring system, where there's a wire that they basically feed into a ventricle in my brain, and it just measures the level of fluid, and it will help establish whether I am leaking again, whether it's a case of I'm just rubbish at regulating my own intracranial pressure, or it could just be a migraine that's developed from a previous leak but sort of has the similar symptoms. I was hoping for the latter, that it was a migraine, but unfortunately the readings have come back and it is showing that I'm leaking from somewhere. It's not really the news I wanted, because the whole treatment process and recovery process just takes forever, and I was just hoping if it were a migraine I could just pop a pill and get on with my life, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The swelling's gone down my eye. I'm sorry, but my eyebrows are a mess and my hair's a mess. But yesterday I couldn't see properly on my left eye, and I had swelling in the right eye. Obviously I was a bit panicked because I was like, what the hell, I can't see. They called the doctor. They've said that they're claiming it's because it's bleeding from the site. I'm happy to go with that, but I'm not 100% convinced, but I'm not a doctor, so. I've seen my consultant, and she's come up with a bit of a plan that she has discussed with me. Firstly, I'm going to be having a CT scan to see what's going on with my eyes, to find out why they're swelling up. That's plan number one, which I'm happy with, because I'm curious as to know why it keeps swelling up all the time. It does go down, but it just comes back again after a night's sleep. They've also discussed treatment options. So the plan is I'm going to go with caffeine infusions. Now, I've never tried this before, and the reason being is because in my previous hospitals it was just a case of let's just give her a blood patch and see what happens. The reason that I'm having the caffeine infusion is because I want to try it with something new. The other reason is they don't know where I'm leaking from, so if they want to do a blood patch, it would be what's called a blind blood patch, which means it will just go my lumbar region again. They said they will know it's been done properly because it's getting done at this hospital and it will be x-ray guided. But the problem with that is it may not work, because I've had blind blood patches before. Another option would be a targeted blood patch, but in order to do that they need to find out where I'm leaking from, and to find out where I'm leaking from it's going to take them a while to study the scans, and it may result in me being in hospital for over another week again, which I don't really want. So I'm going to try the caffeine infusions because it's less invasive. All they do is put a drip in my arm and put a bag of caffeine up and put it into my system. The theory behind it is that caffeine increases the production of spinal fluid, which will therefore increase the pressure in my head, and as a result hopefully get rid of my headaches. And then I would come back every 4 to 6 weeks for review, and if my symptoms are still there they will try it another 2 more times, because they have said that sometimes it doesn't work just the once. You need a few bouts of treatment for it to be successful. I've chosen this because having a blood patch is so restricting, because afterwards you have to really take your time and be careful not to blow it, because as a quick reminder, a blood patch is where they inject your own blood into your epidural space, and the theory is that it forms a clot over the hole and therefore plugs it, which allows your pressure to increase inside it. But having that means you have to treat it with extra care. It's like having a wet scab on the back of your hand. Any sort of knock or like if you stretch it too much or twist the wrong way, it could rupture, so you have to be so careful, and I could really do without all that. So I'm willing to try the caffeine infusions. I also decided that this time round the symptoms aren't as bad as I've had in the past, so, and I have got a bit of upright time, so I'm just going to go for it and hope for the best, and you never know, it could just work. If it doesn't, then we'll have to go back to blood patching, but that's further down the line. This is all dependent on the CT scan and what comes back on that, which I've still not had yet, so I will keep you updated once I've had the scan. I just want to show you guys the headache diary that they wanted me to keep whilst I've been in here. I've been doing it for about 2 weeks now, and it's just a way of them being able to tell when I'm getting the headaches and how it affects me. So I'm just going to flip the camera around. So here's the diary. It's just a grid. Up the side there's just the pain scale, so you're just basically saying how much pain you're in or whether you're asleep, and then along here you just write what you were doing and whether you took any painkillers. So I like to have my lie-in, so I normally sleep till about 8 o'clock-ish, 9 o'clock sometimes, and then I basically just write what I do. But as you can see, when I had the bolt fitted, pain scale went through the roof. But prior to that, my pain scale hasn't actually been that high. I've just noticed that the pain it comes, but it's nowhere near as intense as I've had before. The thing that gets me is the sensation and the feeling weird and the weird sensations in my head that makes me want to lie down first, which is different to last time. The pain was what used to get me the most. I'm going to finish today with a quick update to say that I haven't had a scan yet. I'm still waiting to see the surgeons for them to see me and decide whether the scan is appropriate or not. I guess nothing's happening until tomorrow now, but I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the room. This is a surgical ward and it's in the private part of the hospital, so you might as well see what you get if you pay privately to come to this hospital, which I haven't done, by the way. Mine's for the NHS. So get a TV, fan, not a very good view out of that window. Got all your housing there for your lights and things. Lots of plugs. You got your bed, which the controls are absolutely rubbish. They're right here, so when you're lying down it's at a really hard angle to get, especially if you were to have your head was really bad at the time. It's quite difficult to maneuver the bed. You've got a unit there to keep all your bits and pieces in, and this is the best part. I'm going to turn the camera around for this. You get a nice big cupboard and a fridge. I think that's pretty cool for a hospital, having a fridge. It's not often you get that. Obviously got a little hand basin there and a nice big ensuite bathroom with a shower unit. Obviously the toilet and things, but there's lots of room in here if you're well enough to have showers. But it's a nice big open space. I do like to have a private room, but sometimes I prefer being on a ward so you can chat to other people, because I like to talk to people. So, and since I've got no one to speak to, I might as well start vlogging again and speak to you guys instead. So that's it for tonight, and thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you soon.